Hey boys and girls, it's Miss H. Today I'm going to show you how to draw this bird. This is the Resplendent Quetzal, and it lives in the rainforest of Guatemala and Costa Rica. It is the national bird of Guatemala, and there is a legend about how the bird got its red belly. So that would be something fun for you to research and read while you are safe at home during the coronavirus. Okay, so when you are doing your drawings, of course, I want you to draw lightly so that you can erase. But I'm using a dark pencil because I want to make sure you can see it on the video. So you do not draw as dark as I'm going to draw, okay? Now, I want you to first observe the lines and the shape that are in this picture. Okay, we have a long oval for his body, and his head is at an oval. It's like a sideways oval. Then you can see lines that divide his feathers, and there's a line right here separating his chest from his belly. And in the background, we have lines for the different twigs. You can also see lines in his feathers, and that also gives texture to his feathers. Now, texture is how something feels or looks like it might feel if you were to touch it. And obviously, we can't touch this bird because it's just a picture. But you can look closely, and you can tell that if you were to touch the bird, it would be soft and feathery because it has little textures in there that look like feathers. And there's texture on this tree branch. You can see the lichen and the different fungus on there. Now we're going to get started. Okay. This tree branch is about 2/3 of the way up the picture. So my tree branch is going to go 2/3 up my paper, okay? So I'm just going to draw a line, and it can be irregular. We don't want it just to be straight across because a lot of things in nature are irregular. Then I'm going to draw another line for the bottom of the branch, and it's going to come down. If you notice, this line right here starts to curve down. Then we have that line right there. And then I'm just going to continue that. I'm not going to draw that right there. I'm just going to continue that on like that. Okay, now I'm going to draw the oval for his belly and the main part of his body. And if you notice, I've drawn right over the tree branch, okay? So I'm going to erase the part that I don't need. And the reason I do that is because it's a lot easier just to continue your oval, because you get a flow going in your wrist or your pencil, and you don't want to stop and then start back. It's just not going to, it just looks better this way. Okay, now we're going to draw a little oval on top. You see how I just keep going over it because that's how I get it shaped the way I want it. It's very rare to just perfectly draw something in one stroke. So that's why I tell you to sketch it, and that will help you get it shaped right. Okay, so if you mess up something, you may want to adjust this part like that. Then you can go back and erase the part that you don't want, instead of trying to draw it perfect one time. Okay, now we're going to join his head to his body with just a this side right here doesn't join it as obviously as this side. So this one's going to come out a little more, but it's just a little curve to kind of join those two ovals to each other. And then we're going to erase right here. Okay. Now, you notice his body starts to come in a little bit, and it kind of looks like a triangle. So you'll have a small triangle where the red feathers are, and then it'll continue down for his tail feathers. So see here, I have a lot of lines right here that I don't need. So this is why I tell you to sketch and draw lightly. Okay, and he has a longer set of tail feathers. Now, if you go online and you look at different pictures of the Resplendent Quetzal, you will see this bird with tail feathers that they're really long, and some of them will curl a little bit. This is actually one of the shortest set of tail feathers I've seen, and that's why I chose it, just because it fits in this nice little area that we can draw, and we don't have to worry about getting everything in the photo. So now you can see this line right here that goes through the middle of his tail feather. So I'm just going to do like this. Okay. Now, we can do this in different orders, you know, from here on out, whether we do the beak or the wings, you know, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to draw his beak. I'm going to draw his eye. If you want to go ahead and kind of fill it in and leave a little white spot, it shows where the light reflects off of it. Okay, now his chest, it just curves, and there's almost a little pointy section right there. And he's got his wings come right here. And how I like to draw the wings, I just kind of curve it, come back up. Curve, come back, and just keep kind of sweeping it back and forth. And he's kind of turned to the side, so you can't see the feathers over here quite as much. And when you're drawing something, you decide how much detail you want to give it. I'm just kind of lightly putting in these lines that show the different feathers, and it doesn't have to be, you know, exact and perfect. So I'm just kind of showing where those feathers are. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of, he's got this soft tuft of feathers on his head, which makes him so cute. He's just so adorable. I love this bird. Then I'm just going to kind of erase where we had that oval. where the oval intersects. And I just noticed his beak's a little bit too long. And there we have the basic outline and shapes of this Resplendent Quetzal. And I'm going to go in there and add a little bit more texture. So his little feathers, you can just kind of do these little quick little kind of half C's. And then if you notice right here, he has a shadow. If you want to add the little shadow. So I'm just showing that he's got all these feathers. So right here, he has it's very dark under his wings. And then the red feathers kind of look like they're a little bit longer. Their texture is slightly different. Okay, now we'll come down to here. Just going to kind of add that to the feathers. And then you just keep working on it. Add as much as you want to, or get your colored pencils out and color him. You can play around with blending your colored pencils. So you could use regular green and then add a little bit of blue on top. And I'll probably do that in one of the next videos, is show you how to color this with colored pencil. But until then, you can watch me do this in black and white. So when you do it in black and white, yeah, his beak, I'm just not happy with that beak. That's better. And there is our Resplendent Quetzal. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of texture to the branch. Almost cut the video off and forgot to do that. I'm just doing some quick little marks just to show that this is a tree branch. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you are not getting too bored being safe at home. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get back to normal life. But until then, grab some paper, make some art, and I will see you guys later.